What's up, guys? So, 00CTOBER Diaries. Last one, because it's over. Last review is Erick's. So, he brought over his custom Sunriser, or Jinriser, or Xenriser, however you want to say. It's in the box now. He also brought over his Anubis, which we're just taking photos of on my review set. I think we're going to take a few more before you leave, because I'm not happy with any of the thumbnails I took, really. There's a couple good shots, but it's just fine. It's fun that you finally got to come back over. It's been a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you haven't really even seen any of this, I think.
No, not that wall.
No. So he hasn't even been here for the Billy wall yet or any of the cool stuff. Speaking of which, I have to fix all my Dragon Ball figures that have fallen over.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Yeah, that was a fun sound while those started collapsing. But yeah. So you haven't really built many double O things.
This is the only. No, well, does the Shia concept count?
Yeah, it's a double O.
Okay, well,
it's a double O. It's just out of universe.
Yeah.
I mean, I reviewed one for that. That's right. You built the golden white one.
The golden white one.
That was God. You've come so long, such a long way since that.
Yeah.
That was like me level.
That was the second kid I painted. Yeah, because the first one was the Fenice.
Fenice, yeah.
Then it was
which makes sense. Well, I guess because you don't build HG very often at all. You're almost 1/100 only.
Yeah.
So, one thing we were just talking about was the custom that he's going to be building. He wants to do a scratch/kit bash of his own kind of design. He's sort of stealing something he's seen, but going to make his own twist on it with a frame arms girl, stuff like that. So, he was considering buying my Hexagear for the bike controls and stuff like that, which I think will still work.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that, if nothing else, you can move stuff away. Because it's made for a very small figure, because those governors are like that.
Yeah.
They're like 3 3/4, if that. But I think for a frame arms girl, it could work. But because you don't need the actual bike, so to speak. Yeah. But parts of it might be good. Actually, the legs, the way they fold, might.
I saw that. Yeah,
the legs might work. So he wants to build like a 2-legged walker, sort of.
Yeah.
But we're trying to figure out the best way to give him some digigraded legs that aren't too small.
Too bulky or too small.
Yeah, because you don't want anything that's ridiculous, because it's only frame arms girl, but you also wanted it to be a smaller, stealthier.
Yeah.
Scout vehicle, but it also needs to be robust enough that it can do its job without collapsing. And it's something that we'll probably all be kind of collaborating on between you, me, and Dougie.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think between me and him, you have some very good sources of kit bashing and scratch building. Definitely. Not tooting my own horn much, but you've seen the things I've recently built from scratch. Yeah. Which, you know, one of the hardest things and thing you need to like perfect before you really get into scratch building is building a box that is square. Like not like it doesn't have to be a perfect cube, but building something that is square to itself.
Gotcha. And
building that trap.
Helped you out.
That was the closest I've gotten, and I was using my micrometer and my chopper. Yeah. And by the way, you got to be real careful with the chopper, because that blade has just enough length on it that it will deflect as you push down. So your cuts might be ever so slightly beveled. They'll be on the mark, but they'll be beveled. And I've seen that also where I've had the plastic was just thin enough, it was actually going under the block. Yeah. So it was actually tweaking, so those edges weren't straight. So that was something that, especially if we're going to build like a box or a body for the thing. Yeah. Or if you've got something in mind for that, there's something else you could do.
I said nothing at the moment. It's all ideas.
It's still, yeah. One thing I found out will help, especially with that, is to draw out a basic idea for it. Yeah. Now, Adam Savage built something fairly similar, but Star Wars based, that might actually give you a good head start, and it was a full scratch build.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a Star Wars based build. So he had a 3 3/4 figure of this particular character, and it was their kind of vehicle they used. But ultimately, like, it would be a good resource for you to figure out where you want to go. Because I think it was I don't think it had legs. But it had like a small-ish body, you know, for the character to ride around in, and then it had like the hover pods and stuff like that. So it might actually be a good resource for that. He's been doing a lot more model stuff, And also another resource for there is Tested now has their series called Model Behavior. So they're actually going over techniques for weathering and stuff like that, even building dioramas,
Ooh.
which I know you also want to get into, especially with that particular build.
Yeah.
Are you kind of inspired by that Techicoma build that we looked at in Balls for Balls?
Yeah, definitely. It's one, but this is just a hit out of the blue, and I've been wanting to do something. You know me. Every build, I want to do something different, something
upgrade.
new.
Yeah, same thing.
And this is gonna be a combination of all, and
yeah,
keep on going on that. But yeah, I saw my friend mom's girl, and she looked kind of simple.
Yeah. Because I know you were looking at the ATST.
Yeah.
For some inspiration, because you want those digigraded legs.
Definitely.
But you don't want anything spindly, so to speak. But I mean, but that's too big for what you want.
Yeah. They would be too big. The Star Wars Bandai kit.
Yeah, it would be too big. I think do they have they don't have a smaller version of that. They only do the ships smaller. Those are built in the one scale only. I don't know, because I think well, I was thinking maybe the 1-100 raised legs.
That could also work.
But just flip flop the knees.
Yeah.
Haven't been the other way, because even without the armor, they still look pretty decent on the inside. But you can always scratch build. Basically, just slap a bunch of plate on it.
Yeah.
Because one thing you could do with it is have something of a frame or an inner frame mechanical stuff showing.
Yeah.
But basically, just be box armor coming down to a hinge. Do you want it to be able to move or just static like a statue?
Almost. It could either or. I mean, if it moves, great. If it doesn't, hey, it looks cool.
Yeah, because obviously you can steal knees off of virtually anything, and they'll give you that structure you want. Same thing for a hip mount.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna build it with a diorama, you may as well make it
statues.
Because statue would be super easy to pull off. Because then you're just building the structure you need to hold it up, and you can make it all rigid and put as much detail as you want in it, and it doesn't have to function.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you want, like, because of the type of vehicle you're thinking, would you want it to, like, pivot at the top? Like, the legs can stay stationary, but the top can, like, point?
Yeah.
So that you can strafe?
Yeah, that would be one thing, yeah, definitely.
So, maybe engineer that. Have the base fixed.
Yeah.
To the diorama, but then have the top where you can rotate it.
You can rotate a little bit, yeah. That'd be one thing.
Because you have your frame arm girl who could still move.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, I guess, what about a sit-down mode?
I was thinking about that. Simply, you know how Banniger sits? Basically something like that, where she's leaning down instead of the typical, mecha girl pose where she's all the way down. And, yeah.
But I mean, like, where she's leaning up over the front of the handles, like Bulma. There's a few things. Obviously, there's a lot of anime inspiration, and we saw something the other day when we were at the model contest. I don't even know what we saw, but it was almost like the thing you want. And But it was from some other anime. I don't even know what it was. One of those mecha animes. But because I think we could figure something out that would work. Because if you want the motorcycle type controls, which can also, because they're separate, don't have to be like fixed in a motorcycle body. Because you can move the steering and stuff up. So she could sit back. Yeah. You could probably flip that seat 180 and be like a vertical seat instead. I think it would work.
That'd be great.
And then you have your screens that are already there for any kind of speed or controls and stuff like that. And I've already painted the details for you. So that would already give you a head start. Let's see, where is the... See, look. You'd already have all those controls. Those are about perfect, honestly. I think that maybe, because with the handles, you could always just add, like, take it off and add it elsewhere. And so same with the seat. That would work perfect if you flipped it. Because that's about the crotch size. Yeah. So, and then, if you just into it, it does have sort of the motor and stuff like that, and you could totally install that. But, see what I'm talking about with the legs, the front legs are almost what you want. Yeah. So, I mean, minus these dumb feet, but you could get some of your stuff you want just out of this guy.
That's true.
In theory. I'm just really trying hard to sell. But also gives you lots of greeblies. Yeah. You got all these cool, like, suspension parts. Like, you don't even need the wheels and stuff, obviously. But I mean, like, you've got this cool antenna thing coming out the back. You've got hoses and pipes and everything else already attached to that. So I mean, even if you break it down, like you said, you wanted to kit bash it, so that would give you a good. I think that would give you a good head start. Yeah. I mean, I would say if nothing else, take it home, so you can put it with your frame arm girl and see the scale if it works for you. And if you want to keep it, shoot me the money.
Yeah.
Because it'll come apart pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's not a complicated build, but I think that there's enough bits there
to give us.
That would actually give you a good base to start. And plus, if you take it apart, you have wheels that you can play with for other stuff. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to do something entirely different, that'd be fun. Because the wheels do roll.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I saw your. Yeah. I've been watching your review.
I know, but I enjoyed that. I just have no need for it.
Yeah.
And obviously, I took the time to detail it up. The one thing I really want is I think it's called the bulk ram.
I saw it.
The one that it's a big armor that they like ride around in. Oh, have you seen the Sakura Wars kits?
I can't say that.
It's a series that's been around, but they just now making kits for it. They're really cool. They're like big, fat, like samurai looking armor.
Oh.
But like they're made for the figure to go in, like they wear it.
Okay.
I'll show it to you when we get out of here because BBTS just put them up for sale and they're not cheap. They're like starting at $45. But if they're made to fit something that's in the frame arm girl range of size, that gives you a lot more. Or even Gundam girls or something along those lines. But they look really sweet. The details are cool and it's a very neat mechanical design. And I'm guessing the different sections or different areas of the city have different factions.
Yeah.
So they're selling 2 different factions.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty neat. But yeah, like I said, take that home, see if it'll work out for your needs, and then you can pay me later.
Yeah.
If you're gonna keep it. Because I think.
Yeah, because I'm gonna probably scrap it.
I really do think that it'll solve some of your issues. Because the question is really, if you're gonna design it, is she gonna be sitting on it or more in it?
On it.
Because you wanted it open.
Yeah.
I know you wanted it open for that.
Yeah.
So is she like chilling in like a chair? Because you don't want it like a motorcycle ride.
No, I don't want.
Yeah,
it to
you don't
be
want it to be
sports
out front.
bike.
Yeah, not
I
sports
want it to be more Harley. Chill on the back, controls. Whatever.
And then like, is she sitting on top of it? Like, and say like it has a top and then she's on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is it like the legs are kind of here, the controls are here, and there's just like the mechanical bits?
No, her sitting on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it in and of itself will have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just trying to think.
No, yeah.
Think
like I said,
help you. I'm helping you
get
flesh
ideas,
it out a little bit. So obviously not strictly 00 related right now, but that's just the whole idea behind the scenes here, because that's what's going on. I'm just filming it here. So it was here for 00CTOBER reasons, but this is how projects come about.
Yeah. And
it's more fun.
When you get talk it out with someone, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and especially whenever you're just trying to make things fit that you've never considered.
Yeah.
You're not sure which way to go with it. And plus, if we get to play around with some more plate and stuff like that, that's going to be fun.
Always fun.
It'd be fun to build somebody else's crap, if necessary, help you guys out. Because, like I said, if the 3 of us can get together and we like sit down and like really figure some shit out, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be great.
Because I'm sure Dougie and I can
come up with an idea.
Well, if nothing else, trade knowledge.
Yeah.
Because he helped me with the thing that I've been working on forever that has been completely at a standstill. By the way, I think it got knocked over at some point and somebody cleaned it up. I know whenever we had the flood problems, we had to move the table out and everything like that, and I know it got knocked over then, but I reassembled it and then put it back in the box.
Okay.
We were cleaning up last weekend or the other weekend to get her set up for school on that desk, and I opened the box and it was just blown apart, and I'm like, what the heck happened? And like parts are like down in the runners and stuff like that, because I just have a giant pile of runners, so it looks like it got, I mean, maybe I didn't put it together as good as I thought I did, or because other stuff has been stacked on top, maybe it just slowly and stuff fell off. But it was in a box under bubble wrap, so I don't know. But I put it back together. I had to find like the feet and stuff that had fallen off. I was like, God damn. So now that my scratch building abilities have gotten better, I feel like that is gonna come to fruition a lot sooner. I wanted to finish it by the end of this year, but that's not happening at this rate because I've got these other big kits that are gonna take my time for a while now. Spoilers for stuff coming up. Yes. I'm taking a break from Gunpla for a while. By now, if you've seen his review, I did announce it then. But I'm just 00CTOBER just blows me out every year on building kits. Plus, I did 2 customs in that time. Yeah. One unrelated, but we'll look at it. I'm doing a behind the scenes on that one too.
Oh, nice.
So I did a slight build log on it. But my problem is I will build for like an entire day and forget to film. So I started the backpack and was trying to figure out the way I was going to connect everything, and then cut to 4 hours later and it's mostly done. Hey. It magically happened. Here's a kit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Because I've seen I think it's on Model Maker's Boom Hut. Are you on Boom Hut?
No.
Oh, you need to be.
Okay.
Because it gives you a lot more ideas of other stuff that people are doing, not just Gundams. But this guy is building a combination. It's a hell of a kit bash and scratch build. He's doing some kind of spider bot.
Ooh.
But he's doing like 1/32 scale. Yeah. But he used his control base, and it's going inside of a body. He used the Y-Wing kit.
Okay.
So he's got it flipped backwards, so the thrusters are facing forwards like cannons, and he built a whole cockpit and seat where the engine and stuff of the Y-Wing are, and he took the head of the Y-Wing off.
Okay.
So that's all going to be installed in the drive pod section of this thing. But he's got 4 huge legs that he built from other stuff, and he's used so much stuff. I cannot think of the guy's name, but he has been doing a ridiculous amount of work, and it's like crazy.
Definitely invite me to this thing.
Yeah, well, it's a Facebook group, and like I've gotten some inspiration for stuff there through either weathering or other paint techniques and stuff like that, because it's people who build everything.
Yeah.
There's some guys in there showing off the diorama builds and stuff like that, and it's everything that's not just Gunpla. Like there's some tank builders in there, so if you really want to learn some other kind of techniques, tank builders are the way to go. Like the guy was telling us at G&G. If you want to learn weathering, go to the tank guys.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of tank tutorials, especially when I was doing my gun tank. That's where I got how I weathered it. Looking at it that way. I wonder if I had brought that, what they would have thought. Because that was the beginning of my weathering.
Yeah.
So my latest weathering versus my first weathering.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Very different techniques. Oh, did you see? Maybe it was okay. I'll show it to you off camera. I believe it was a Model Maker's Boom Hut as well. It was before you came over.
Mm-hmm.
This guy recreated a scene from a junkyard he had gone to. So a classic car, basically rusting and rotting into the ground. He took pictures under the hood, inside, and around it, and he built it as a diorama.
Wow.
Yeah, including the rust buildup and cobwebs in the floor, to the seat that had been removed from the vehicle that was sitting outside under the tree that was coming apart.
Wow.
He did the individual springs in the seat that were exposed in the back. I was like, whoa! And caked on the rust where it was definitely like thick and gross. Yeah. When he shows you the actual picture and then shows you the model, you're like, hold on, wait, what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
So I'll show that to you when we're done here, but. And these vlogs are just what they are, so it's just us BSing here because we're just having fun.
Yeah, it's always fun.
And, and this will come out wherever. Patrons get to see these things early.
Okay.
So I gotta show you because I've got my Thundercracker right there, and I'm using a very different paint for it. I'm very similar blue to the plastic.
Okay.
But my buddy Sean Love, he does a lot of the paint jobs for the guys in the realm of collectors. And especially for Deluxe Baldwin, he wanted one that looked more cartoon color accurate.
Okay.
And he nailed that
blue,
oddball blue for that. And he's nowhere near done. He was just showing me the wings and stuff. I'm like, damn. I was like, I know he does. He's a car builder as well.
Yeah.
Or car painter, I should say.
Okay.
So, very similar skill to what you have, but his paint jobs on Transformers are ridiculous. So if you wanted a custom painted Transformer, he'll do it, and he's here in Texas.
Oh wow.
So he's only about 6 hours away. He did the IDW Prime up there for Bobby Skullface. It was kind of a surprise. Like he said, hey, I'm going to do this kit for you.
Okay.
And then he's backdooring him into hiring him to do the commission on the Megatron. This is what he did. He built that one for free so that he'd come back and pay for Megatron.
Yeah.
Okay, so the windshield, and you know how he's got the covers at the top? He painted in the shadows of those on the windshield.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, he does cell shading as like just his base. Like if you want your thing cell shaded, he'll do all the glass total cell shaded for you. He'll do the whole thing if he needs to, but he mostly does that to make them look like they're on the cartoon screen, basically. But that IDW Prime was ridiculous, and I actually because he saw mine, he redid the stripes on the arm shields because he had them too tight or too skinny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this should look like this. He's like, damn it. And he had to redo them. It's like, I told him, it's like, no, the stripes are about 5 mil. I did mine at 6 mil because it's all I had. And I wasn't going to cut my tape down. And so he redid the shields. Like, he had them fully painted. He redid the arm shields. And then he gets the water slides. He gets the Autobot water slides and puts them on. Even the actual thing. So he's done. I thought about sending him one of my MP10s and having him repaint to a normal one. Just to a regular MP10. Regular Optimus. Because I've got the two that are whatever. But also, if you say you have one of the older ones, you know how Hasbro's redoing everybody in cartoon colors now? So if you just want to kind of skip that extra cost and just repaint yours, you can do that too. But he's doing all these Flame Toys kits for people.
Oh, nice.
So he did the Starscream for Deluxe. He did an Attack Mode Prime, but in some really crazy, like, Technicolor stuff with like the rainbow stickers and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like I don't like it. I was like, that is not my style. I'm kind of crazy metallic, like super metallic red, super metallic blue, standing out like an motherfucker. It was like, that's not me. I don't like that. Yeah. But he's about to do a Nemesis Prime for somebody. Ooh. So he got
not the IDW.
Yeah, the IDW Nemesis, which I need to get now. I hate myself that I need that.
I saw it yesterday at Bedrock.
Oh, Bedrock had it? 45-ish?
I don't remember the price.
That's what it should be.
Yeah. So it probably is.
Yeah, honestly. So they should charge you only for what the regular one is.
15% off yesterday.
Oh, I forgot they had the sale too. I just blew...
Halloween sale's coming up.
I just blew all my money on stuff right now. I gotta play catch
Unicron.
up. I did not buy a Unicron. I wanted to buy a Unicron. It wasn't worth the fight.
I wanted the Unicron too.
I have much cooler things I should buy instead. That at least light up.
It's still on a Unicron. You can always make Unicron light up.
Yeah, but I tried that already on my Omega and it didn't even want to work for you just now.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the switch just wasn't coming all the way on. Yeah. Because it's got a little hitch right at the top. And I think it's just not getting there. But that's annoying because I spent hours doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna be pissed. And there's no way the battery died that fast. It's a single LED.
Okay, yeah, definitely not.
No, so if nothing else, I might have to replace that switch, which sucks because that was one of those GSI kits. Or I need to put some of the more solvent through it for the.
I've been looking at Avon Designs LEDs. Real nice. They're made for rural.
Yeah.
They're amazing, and they're pretty cheap too. Okay. So I'm gonna be looking into those, playing around with those.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do more. I want to do more LED stuff. It was fun doing it for that guy.
Yeah.
Except that because I was using a pre-built kit. One, it cost more.
Yeah. Which
was a convenience up until trying to cram it all in the head. Because I had to get the battery pack in there and the connectors for the two pieces.
Yeah.
So, unless I wanted to cut and solder, which with wires that tiny, I was scared to do. I could have made it a much more finesse kit. Plus, if I want to, I can still take it out. The only thing that's somewhat permanent is the LED is glued in place. But now that I got the solvent, I can just whoop, and it'll just come out. Just super glue. So if I want to do two LEDs, one for each eye, I can. So it's wired with a single LED kind of in between, so it's a cool fade look. But now that it doesn't want to work, it's pissing me off. So I gotta do that. I did do a build log for that too.
Nice.
And then you see my struggles over I know. I think actually have to cut like 15 minutes out of that with just me fighting with getting the LED in place. Like I drilled a hole because I wanted it to come up and in it.
Yeah.
But the light kind of faces more forward than sideways.
Okay.
It's more bright in one direction. It's pretty directional. Because I went with the chip LED.
Okay.
Not the bullet style.
Yeah.
Now I wish I'd gone with the bullet style because it would have been real easy to glue that just right in a spot. But I would have had to drill a slightly bigger hole.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing with it is I drilled the hole, which is actually about a centimeter back from the eyes. And then I drilled a vertical hole, but then I made a groove down the middle of it. So the wire is glued in place, and the LED sort of peeks up into the hole, just a little. It was up in it, but it was deflecting too much. So all the light was going up into like the forehead. So once I finally got it in just the right position, I went, it's quickly hit it with some glue. Yeah. I was like, stay! God. And of course now it doesn't work. Also, the switch is so far in there that I can't turn it on without a tool. Yeah, I saw that. So I might have to redo that a little bit later. But I mean, like, if you look at, say, the way I did Busted Haro, I took apart a candle and wired it myself.
I know, man. I can't believe all those guys over there were like, that's it?
Yeah, the one dude was like, that's all it is? I'm like, yeah, and the wires are just twisted and crammed inside him. It's like, and the funny thing is, you're not even looking at the LED right there. That's just a clear piece of plastic. The LED's behind it. That's a good resource. Those things, you can buy like a whole bag of them for like $5. Yeah. So, and then one thing I want to do, this is a slight spoiler. I might cut this out. Basically do it the same way I did that guy. Super simple. And, the fact that I built that, because the battery is just glued in place. So the negative wire, the negative wire is underneath the battery. So it's the bottom of the battery, which is glued in place. So the wire is just under the battery, running directly from the battery directly up into him, and then the switch is on the other side where it's contacting the other side of the battery like it should. Yeah. And that's all glued in place. Huh. It's so dumb. And then since I had to redo it because the first time the contact was really bad and that's why it wasn't working, the glue overrode the wire. The wire. So the glue got between the battery and the wire. As soon as I cleaned it up, instantly came on. So it's so funny to go from that to the Moon Gundam, which is over there. So my Moon Gundam is lit. Yeah. He's down there. So that's actually so easy to do, but you have all that wire to deal with. Yeah. And that's the same setup as what's in Omega. Okay. But I had to cram everything that's in him inside the head. Fun. Yeah. Very fun. Yeah. That was a fun thing, just routing that wire through the body and everything. That was my first real foray into lighting. Because that was before Horrorflow. Yeah. And I did that the hard way. Yeah. Where I actually had to wire it myself, so let them be a lesson, kids. You could totally do wiring. You can wire it yourself if you got, and I got lots of wire laying around. Actually, headphone wire. Really? Yeah. That's it? Yeah. So I had that real nice insulated, like a normal wired headphones. Yeah. So I actually had to split it and get the black and red out of it. That's all it is. Interesting. Yeah, because I need wire that was small enough. Yeah. Yeah. Because I had bought some that was a bit thicker gauge, but I thought it was going to be good enough, and it wasn't. So, but then if you get the wires for those LEDs for that guy, they're so thin. Nice. They can go in so many places, and it's scary. If we have time, I'll take the head off of him because it's just 2 screws. Yeah. I'll show you just because it's easier to show you on that than on that. I can't take him apart anymore, but let's go ahead and call this a day and go see what the ladies are up to. If they're talking shit about us like they always do. And then maybe we can play a game or something. Cool. Maybe get some Mario Kart. Yeah. Get some 4-player Mario Kart. I'm down. We have yet to play Mario Kart with anybody else here. So, guys, I normally just end these in a